Hello everyone, it's the Asset Stacker. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today is Friday, November the 15th. Just wanted to kind of do a quick video and kind of catch you up on some things that I got to do last weekend. So last Friday, Friday the 8th through the 10th, the Tennessee State Numismatic Society put out a coin and currency convention in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. In an area right outside Chattanooga, a place called East Ridge. And I was able to actually go to that convention or that event last Saturday on the 9th. And my wife wanted to go with me, so we went. And I did not get a chance to really take a lot of footage. I really enjoy these coin shows this year and have tried to do videos on kind of the events and all that stuff. And I just didn't get a chance to really do any recording. I did do some recording and I realized that when I did it, after it was done, I realized that I held my camera in portrait position instead of putting it in the landscape position. So the footage is flipped sideways and it's not going to be worth putting into a video format. So I could change it and maybe do some shorts or something like that, but I probably won't bother putting it out. But anyway, I did get to go to the event. Like I said, me and my wife did, and I did pick up a few things, and I just wanted to kind of bring you in and let you see some of the stuff that we were able to pick up. As you know, I'm trying to not really aggressively fill a challenge, but I did kind of create a challenge for myself on a Guardhouse box of the 1 ounce bars. But what I wanted to put in it were holiday bars, and it could be any type of a holiday. And you've seen in some of my earlier videos at some of the shows that I've gone to, I started picking up like Valentine's, Christmas, any type of a holiday that's a U.S. holiday. I'm trying to fill a box of 50, and I don't want them to be, no duplicates. I want them to be separate, individual type bars. So I did get to pick some of them up, and I was able to add 4 of those to the collection on this trip. So I just wanted to show you that. And I did pick up another bar outside of this, and I'll show you that as well. But I let my wife do a lot of the picking on these bars this time because, like I said, she wanted to go with me, and she was excited to go. So the first one that I was picked up, I went to a booth, and I didn't recognize this vendor. I don't know that I've been to his booth at any of the other events, but nonetheless, this guy had a bicentennial Valentine's Day bar, and this bar was actually put out by the Madison Mint. So I was able to pick this up, and at the time of the event on that Saturday, I think spot price for silver was probably somewhere right around between $31 to $32 per ounce. I can't say for sure because, to be honest with you, I really just haven't paid a lot of attention. I know that there's been some swings in the prices of gold and silver since the election is over with. But to say for sure what the spot, closed at on Friday and what it was over the weekend, I can't remember. But anyway, I knew that it was somewhere between the mid 30s or lower 30s per ounce. So for me to spend $33 on this bar, I was totally satisfied with that and didn't have a problem doing that at all. And that's what I paid for that bar, was $33. So just $1.50 to $2 over spot. But I didn't have a Valentine's Day bar, so I get to add that one to the box. And that was one that my wife picked out. So she's satisfied, and I'm happy. So there's the Valentine's Day bar. Now, that being said, we went, I think this was at the exact same booth, this tone bar, and it says Santa's shop on it, and we deliver. It doesn't actually say Merry Christmas. This is a Christmas bar, a Christmas theme bar. It doesn't say Christmas on it, but it had the date of 2004, and my wife and I met each other and started talking and started dating Christmas. It was around the November season, so Christmas of 2004 was our very first Christmas together, and we got married at the first part of 2005. So when she saw this, she wanted this bar just because it was a 2004 bar. The toning is pretty intense on this side, as you can see, and it does have a lot of different colors in it. Has a lot of rainbow colors. But I don't know, if this is natural, if it was artificial. It doesn't have as much toning on the back, so I don't know, exactly where the toning came from or how it was in this pattern, but it almost looks like something was sitting on top of it, and this area around it was exposed just because of the way it was, the way it's shaped and the tone. But this being a 2004 Christmas bar, my wife wanted it. So again, a $33 bar, so I wasn't worried about the price. I was satisfied with that as well. So we added this to the collection, and oddly enough, I can't remember which holidays I'd already purchased bars for. I'll look that up later. We'll get it figured out, but I'm not even sure if I have a Christmas bar yet. But either way, I know I didn't have this one. So 2004 Christmas bar. So that's the first two. Then from there, I left and went to another booth. And it turned out it was, if you watched one of my earlier videos of a coin show that I went to, I want to say the coin show was in Gadsden, Alabama. There was a vendor there that I interviewed. His name was Dickie, and he has he sells online, I think on Facebook. He has a Facebook group that he does auctions and stuff like that. And he was set up at Chattanooga. I came across him. He recognized me. He did let me know that some of you guys actually started joining his group after the video was put out. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that it's helped him, and hopefully you guys have picked up some deals from him. But he always has, every time I've seen him so far and gone to his booth at whichever show I've been at with him, he's always got a vintage bar box. It's just a box that you can go through of different vintage bars. I did go through that, and I picked up a couple of bars from him. And these, I know I do not have a 4th of July holiday bar in my collection yet, but I do now. And so this is going to be an Independence Day, July the 4th, 1973 bar. I bought this one, and it was in a flip, wasn't in a capsule, so it was in a flip, so you'll see the little toning and the discoloration around here. And it's got some weird tone spots on the back of this particular bar, but I did pick this one up. Like I said, I haven't really seen a whole lot of 4th of July Independence Day type bars, but I did pick that one up. But he had another one that looked just like it. So it was a 1973, same front on the bar. But again, what I learned from World Money Wins is to make sure that you check, because there are different varieties of these type bars. So when it comes to the vintage bars, you may have the same front but different backs. And as you saw in this first one, there's nothing on the back. It's just a blank. There's, other than the toning and some scrapes, just regular wear, there's nothing minted or printed on the back of that bar. But this one, even though it has the same obverse, this one has a Madison Mint mark. So you can see that it says Madison Mint. So I knew that even though I had the same obverse, I had two different bars. And that's really what I'm trying to collect. I would love to eventually collect, if there's a third one in this series, if there's another mint that put out the exact same obverse, because they shared a lot of these dyes. They would share and use the same dyes, but just mint them in their mint. So this one, I'm not sure who this was that minted this one, but let's say that you've got the Madison Mint. If there was another mint that is out there that used the same one, I would love to get those. And then I do need to get the, there's a book that you can get that World Money Wins has showed me, and I really need to get this book, but it is a book of these vintage bars, and tells how many of these were made. So again, I'm not sure on the Independence Day bar how many were made from the Madison Mint, so I don't know if that's rare or if it's very common. But either way, I wanted both of them, and obviously I would target, if I had to choose and I could only afford to buy one, I would target the one that, I love the sound of these capsules. I would target the one that had the least vintage if I could only afford to buy one this time. So I don't have that book, so I don't have the knowledge when I'm at the show to know which one of these is more valuable as far as production runs, which one had more that was put out in production than the other. So those are the 4 bars that I picked up that went to the 1 ounce Guardhouse box that I've kind of challenged myself with for the holidays. That being said, I did pick up another bar, and this bar is going to be a bar that, if you watched an earlier video, I found a bar at a show that I went to. I want to say it wasn't the Georgia show. I believe the show that I first saw this bar. Well, actually, the first time I seen this bar was displayed on a video that was put out by My Silver Journey, if I'm not mistaken. And I really liked the bar that he showed. So I went to a show, I want to say it was in the Birmingham area. When I went to that show, I saw one of these bars there. And at the time of being at the Birmingham show, silver was somewhere in the high 20s, maybe the low 30s. And the guy that had the bar was willing to sell the bar. It was at a booth that really just had a lot of stuff for display. He wasn't doing a whole lot of selling. It was a group, it was an organization, and they were at the show to try to convince you to join their club, I guess. And he was willing to sell things, but he only had one of these bars, and he wanted $50 for it. And I talked about it in that video. So if you'll go back and look at that video, you'll see where I saw it and all this. And he wanted he was willing to sell it, but I just could not pay. I just couldn't justify it. I was like, well, in my mind, I thought I liked the bar. I really would love to have one, but I just couldn't see myself paying $50 for, something, it's just the premium was just too high. So that being said, and I did the same thing at another show, down south picking and stacking. This showed a Trump bar. It was a wanted bar, and he showed that in one of his videos, and I liked it. And I thought, man, if I ever see one of those, I want to buy it. And went to a show, found one at a show, but the premium they wanted on it was so high, I just couldn't justify it making sense to pay that much for a bar. But at a later show, I found it at a reasonable price, and I bought one. Well, this is what happened with this bar. So I did find the bar, and this bar, actually, I didn't realize it because in the first show, it was just the bar, and it was in a capsule, but it wasn't it didn't have a display case. This bar, actually, at this show, it had the display case was included. So the bar that I got, like I said, this bar was shown on My Silver Journey's channel, so you've probably already seen it, but it's the 10 Commandment bar. So I was able to pick this up. So this bar was listed, he was trying to sell it for $39. And although that was much better priced than the $50 that the other show was trying to get, the seller at the other show, I still $39. And like I said, spot was probably around 32, somewhere in that range. I did walk away from the bar at first, and then he was almost directly across from Dickie, and So I went to Dickey's table, ended up buying these, and that left me with the budget that I took with me to spend. It left me with $35. And I'd already made up my mind that if he's willing to take the $35 for it, I'll buy it. But if he's going to require more than that, I wasn't going to dig into anything different. I was just going to continue to hold out and see if I could find it somewhere else at a better bargain. Who knows? Spot price could have went up to $50 and I'd end up paying more than $50 for it. But I kind of base my buys based on how close am I paying to spot at the time of purchase, because you never know what the spot price is going to do after the purchase. You can really just kind of only go by what you're dealing with that day, that particular day and time. So anyway, I went back to the table and I let him know that I was interested in the bar, but the most I was going to be able to pay for it is $35. And like I said, he took me up on the offer, because here it is. So he came down $4. Like I said, he started at $39 and I offered $35 and he took it. And again, spot was only around 30, say 33, 32, 33. So I have probably between $2 to $3 in a premium on this bar that if I would have purchased at an earlier show, would have been a $20, somewhere in that range, premium. So I much would rather just kind of hold out. And that's kind of what I recommend. The reason why I show you guys these shows, and like I said, this one comes with a display case. If you look on the back of it, you can actually tear this out, and this would be like I don't want to really undo it, but you see it comes apart, and it creates a stand, and you can display this where it would set up like this right here. So the other one that was $50 didn't have that. It was just the bar and the capsule. So keep looking. If there's items that you find at a show, or you see somebody unboxing here on YouTube, and you're like, man, I would, I like the look and the appeal of that bar, go to these shows. You can find these at shows, and man, you can negotiate so much better than you can. You can't really negotiate with an online bullion dealer. You could get these online, but you're not going to be able to negotiate prices. You go to these shows, these guys, you're face to face. If you don't have an issue trying to negotiate. Now, my wife, she's not a negotiator. That it makes her nervous to even think about trying to negotiate a price. To me, I'm okay with that, because I've been in business for a long time. I know that negotiations, that's how it works. It's part of life. And if you're not timid about doing that, man, you can, if you're willing to wait and walk away from something that is just, if you have a boundary. Now, if you've got a lot of money and you can just throw money around everywhere, then fine. There's nothing wrong with that either. But if you look at it as an investment and not a hobby, there's nothing wrong with mixing an investment with your hobby. But like this would be more of an investment piece than but it's a hobby, but it's an investment piece to me. I mean, it's a piece that, it could carry a premium because it could be considered a collectible at some point. But a collector is going to spend a whole lot more money than someone who's just an investor, because they look at it from an investment standpoint of, really all this adds to my stack is an ounce of silver, and I'm not willing to pay twice spot for an ounce of silver. And if you go into it with that mindset and then you continue to go to other shows, you're going to find deals. And that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy finding the pieces that I want at the best price that I can get it. And if the price doesn't feel right, then walk away. And I don't have a problem walking away either, because I get to continue that hunt at the next show, and I enjoy the hunt. So if that's something that you can kind of gear your mind towards, you can really have a lot of fun doing this. And that's the reason why I do it. And I don't allot a lot of money to this, because like I said, I carry enough money. I bought 5 pieces, and that was my budget. That was all the money that I was willing to spend at this show, because the bulk of my monthly, the amount of money I'm able to spend each month on precious metals, the bulk of it is not going towards the hobby side. It is going towards the investment side. So I'm buying the gold, and I'm trying to buy that at the cheapest price possible. And again, you have seen in my previous videos, the Dalton show that I went to, I was able to pick up, I believe it's Dalton. Yes, the Dalton Southeast Stacker and I went to. I was able to pick up my gold at $10 under the price that I could buy that day, that very day, online for the exact same piece. I was able to pick gold up at a better price at the show than what I could have at the cheapest that you could find it online amongst all the dealers that were online. So that's my point. If you're willing to just put in a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, you can also have a little bit of a hobby in this, but keep focusing on your future and the investment side. I lean more heavy towards the investment side than I do toward the collector side. But I do feed the collector side with pieces like this, but I do it in a strategic way. I don't just buy the first piece that I find. If there's a piece that I find that I like, and if I can get it for what would be good for an investment, then I'll go ahead and make that purchase. But if I can't get it close to that price, I'll try again somewhere else. And over time, who's to say? If I was never able to find this anywhere any cheaper than $50, if I wanted it bad enough later on, I'd pay $50 for it. But only if I knew that there was just no way I could seem to find it any cheaper anywhere else. So anyway, this video is running kind of long. Just wanted to let you know kind of what I did this past weekend. I had a lot of fun. If you guys haven't been to one of these shows yet, you need to go. They're fun to go to. Like I said, you can find some great deals, and you can also find some very bad deals. You just need to know what you're going in looking for, kind of be specific. And there's so much. I mean, there's so much at these things. There's no way you're going to see it all. Especially any type of a medium-sized show, you just can't see it all. But if you go knowing what you're looking for and you got to go in mind, you can go and you can have a lot of fun. So I do highly recommend that you go to a coin show or numismatic show, whatever they want to call it. But go to a coin show. You'll have a lot of fun. I appreciate you watching. The video's running long. It's longer than my normal video. But like I said, I had fun. I appreciate you watching up to this point. And remember, you build your wealth one asset at a time. So keep stacking.